Hello everyone, welcome to the Jesse James Beats live Facebook page. My name is Nilay Patel, and we're going to do a fabulous Nilay at night where I create a fun, fabulous project using the ever glorious Jesse James beads and a few techniques that you may be familiar with, some design ideas that are new to you perhaps. I love using Jesse James beads. I love teaching you guys, and I love everything that we make on here. It's always such a fun time, and I've got a few things to talk about first real quick. How many of you familiar with Christmas in July and celebrate it? Because I know I do. I certainly love to at least give presents, and I don't know, it's just kind of a fun little in-between Christmas spirit holiday that is fun to shop around as well, I must say. But here on Jesse James Beads, we also celebrate Christmas in July, so we are actually having quite a few sales this week. And today we're actually having 30% off green beads with the minimum order. So for those of you who have not yet looked into the gorgeous, beautiful green strands of beads, this is the time to grab them. I don't know quite yet what I'm going to make tonight. I have these beautiful green beads that I would love to do something with. I've also got some beads from the seasonal collection, which are these cherry tomato beads. So I'm actually going to let you guys pick which one I should work with today. As we're chatting away here. And the first person to respond is what I'll end up going with. Let me show you guys real quick one of the components that's available. This is in the green mix, you guys. Do you remember this design that we made using the Mermaid's Cove little beaded connector here? This is just one of the components, many components that you'll find in the green special sale today. So I really feel like you guys should take advantage of it, and it's a great time to shop. So I'm still deciding if I want to do red or green. Oh, we have Angie on here who says red. So I think I'm going to do red tonight. I'm actually going to flip the camera over, and I picked out some complementary materials for both. So we'll give it a whirl here and see what we come up with. Let me go ahead and do this. All right. So here I have the red cherry beads, cherry tomato, excuse me. Aren't those just absolutely beautiful? I don't know which one I'm going to use yet, but again, here was a green, which we're not going to be using tonight, sadly, but this means that I'll have the opportunity to use it another day, so I'm excited about that. Let's see. Okay, so I also picked out, while I was looking through my stuff, these beautiful dark pick up a silver chain as well. So I have this beautiful round plate chain that I think is absolutely gorgeous. So I think I want to use that in tonight's design as well. And my ladies up here in Jesse James Beads are actually posting links to all these products in case you're wondering what they are specifically. So this is going to be fun to work with. I don't quite know what I want to do, but I know I want to keep it simple and fun to make and easy. So let's see. Let's work with this strand here. I love this one. Do you guys love this one? I believe this is a cherry tomato number 1 of their strands. And what I love about these strands is they're custom made. So once they are sold out, they're a done deal. I don't know how many per se they might have of these on hand at this point. They do sell out of these pretty quickly. I know red's a little bit of a more difficult color to use, so I actually applaud Angie for speaking up and saying that I should do something in red because it is a challenge for me. I'm really not a red jewelry kind of guy, or red beads, I guess I should say. With this, guys, I also picked out some Softflex wire. This is garnet colored. It's red. It's a very gorgeous monochromatic color palette that I'm working with here. But this is, I think, a great complementary strand to work with this particular color palette. All right. There we go. So what do I want to do first? I kind of want to lay out a design, right? So let's see what we've got. That's it. It was a Jazzy disc chain. I couldn't remember what it was called, but thank you for posting that. Gotta have the jazziness to it, I guess. That's awesome. So let's see. I think I want to cut my strand off about right here and then continue up with the jazzy disc chain, excuse me. And I think I want to maybe take part of these beads and put them up here and then continue the rest with my dark beads. How does that plan sound? I think that'll make for a nice textured design with many different things going on, but I think it'll all be cohesive now that we're working in the same strand, or bead strand rather. So I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. I mean, worst case scenario, we just tear it apart, right? Here we go. All right. So keeping an eye on my pattern, I'm actually going to lay it out here at the side, because I love how they put the strands together. I don't even have to do too much to the rearrangement of it. Yeah, it's like they kind of do all the work for me. So the question begs now is, how do I want to connect all of this together? So I think I'm going to take part of it and string it on the Softflex wire. So I'm actually going to go ahead and, oh, that looks like a little pineapple. Isn't that cute? I love that. I don't know if that was intentional or not. I need to do that backwards. Oops. Or I guess a little tomato if we're keeping in the theme today. Alrighty. So I'm going to string all of this already custom designed strand that I don't need to do any work to, because they are amazing, those designers at Jesse James Beads. And I'm going to continue this up. Gosh, I don't know which one my favorite bead is on here. I really love the sparkly pineapple one that I picked out earlier, but I kind of love these as well. What do you guys think? Which one's your favorite of this strand, if you had to pick one? Okay, there we go. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and crimp it onto my disc chain. So let's see. Here we go. Right. So to crimp, I'm actually going to use my pair of Xuron crimpers. This is a very special crimper that actually has 4 notches. The first 3 are dedicated to the size of each of its respective crimp. So the first notch that you see that's the smallest will do a size 1 millimeter crimp, followed by a size 2 millimeter, and then the last one there that looks like a circle that's hollow is a number 3. That notch that you see at the very bottom that looks like a V is the first notch that we're going to use first. So all you do is you just stick it inside of the little V. You just make sure that your wires are nice and separated, so that way they'll fall into its own channel. When you press it, the V part of that top one will actually press into the crimp to create this little indent. And then all you do is you just press it on its side in the middle notch, because I am using size 2 millimeter crimps. You could even use the top of your pliers, which are basically chain nose, to press it even more, to give you a very secure, nice folded crimp, which looks absolutely perfect there. Go. For those of you that are watching and want to share the love, we do appreciate the share if you can give us one. right. Here we go. I'm just going to scoot everything down. Now, how many discs do I want to do? I do want to keep the beading wire a little bit loose, only because I wanted to have the free movement and motion to be able to fold as I please, or move as I please, excuse me. So I think, well, we'll not worry about that at this exact moment. Let's go ahead and cut and crimp this. There we go. Okay. Again, I'm going to put in a 2mm crimp. Ooh, hopefully it did fall through. I do have an idea, a little tip for you guys for crimps that fall through. I've been using this particular tip for a very long time and it's worked pretty successfully. So whenever you go back through your crimp, and at this stage you strung. That way when you pull tight, it'll prevent that crimp from going through. So try that next time you guys crimp and see if that trick works for you as well as it did for me. I think I need to pull it a little bit tighter. There we go. Cool. So now I'm just going to go ahead and crimp it. I do want to make sure it's fully on its side before I do it in that second notch. There we go. Perfect. So now you can simply remove that piece of wire and go ahead and cut your wire here. A little tilter. Perfect. Cool. So we got part of this design now. Now I have to decide how many of these discs I want to show. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think maybe 6 would be good. We just need a little visual break in there. So I'm going to use a pair of cutters, my Xuron hardwire cutters, to cut that chain. There we go. These are enclosed circles. They don't have a seam through it, which is perfect for crimping. That way you know that the wire is not gonna, the beading wire won't come out anywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cut that. Now here's where I get to continue my design. So what do we want to do here? Do we want to, see if I can push that up a little bit. There we go. All right. Do we want to continue with this beautiful pearl, or do we want to add some of these beads back in? Oh, that might be fun. So if we put this in, we could then continue with our pearls on that side. Oh, I love that. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, sold and sold. Let's do this. I'm going to use some more of my garnet beading wire. Oh, perfect. I just had just enough there in that spool. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and crimp this on the one side. Okay, and while I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and read some of the comments that I'm seeing. So we have some friends that are joining in. Anita is here and Susan is here. Hello, ladies. Angie says, sparkle. I hear you. That should be the magic word for tonight. Let's see. There's tons of sparkle here, that's for sure. I love these crimpers so much. They have been useful again and again, and I absolutely love using them. Alrighty. So I'm going to unstring those, put them on this beading wire. Again, this is the Garnet Softflex medium-sized beading wire that I have here. There we go. cool. And then now I'm just going to string on my pearls, and it'll be a cool, sassy little design here that I've got. I love all this texture that I'm getting. Okay. I'm glad I chose to do stringing tonight. I just needed like an easy technique night. What about you guys? Some days it's nice to just have an easy technique night, don't you think? I love that. Just needed a little visual break within that set of beads, but for the most part I think it could all stay within a few, just a few select materials. Alrighty. I love these pearls. That's gonna make such a great combination. And these are matte pearls that are about 6 millimeter, between 6 and 7 millimeter, I would say. They're a little bit bigger. But I haven't really used these yet. So I'm glad I was able to break them out. Again, per Angie, one of our viewers on here, requesting me to do the red color scheme, Cherry Tomato, a design using cherry tomato. Carol says, love your work. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have been partaking in some of the contests and entries and mystery boxes and everything that Jesse James Beads have been doing. They keep me in the loop of everything, and I love the creativity that comes from you guys. You guys come up with some great ideas. And if you do share your ideas, we will be more than happy to post them onto our feed. Just let us know what you used, and that way we can inspire others to create your beautiful design. And says making peach themed jewelry for a peach party here in New Jersey. Well, that's fun. A peach themed party. That sounds pretty awesome. So I'm guessing everything is peach, including the food and drinks, maybe? That would really give it that extra peach touch, wouldn't it? Alrighty. So I have a little bit left on the spool that I'm actually going to do on the other side. I kind of want to see how these will line up once they're both kind of strung together. So I'm going to go ahead and string this other side while I've got you guys here. So I'm just going to cut some of that. There we go. All right. A little bit more crimping to do, but we're almost done with this design. Alrighty, there we go. Once you get this crimping technique down, it's very easy to do, I promise, and it goes very fast. Cool. So it looks like my pattern was red crystal, small bead cap, red glass spacer, another bead cap, large bead cap, and finally this gorgeous red bead, big O red bead. Okay, do make sure to tuck in your little tail wire into a bead or two. If you think it's going to come out of that larger bead, then you may want to trim it down to where it just goes into that faceted crystal. All right, just a few more to go. So I'm reading some of the comments, and my friend Sarah, who's posting for Jesse James Beads, says, speaking of Peach Fest, who's joining Nile and JJB at Bead Fest. I love the segue into that. That's great. So thanks for reminding me, Sarah. I can't believe I totally forgot about that during this video, but this is a great opportunity for me to talk about it. So yours truly here at Nile at Night will be at Bead Fest Philly. The dates are, which I think Sarah can post them, I believe they're 16th through the 20th? I might have that wrong. I'll have to go back and check, but I think it's mid-August for sure. We'll do a hard post on that. But in the booth, we're going to be having some demos, and we're actually taking signups for those here shortly. And so you could sign up for a class with me Each class will be about an hour. There are 4 different classes that you could learn a different project from. Some of these you might have seen here on the live demo. Some of you may have not and would love to partake in the learning process and have a class with me. And what else was I gonna say? Kits will also be available. I think we're keeping them very inexpensive. They're going to be about $15 per kit. So you could sign up for the class, which is, well, no, I take that back. I think the kits are complimentary, but the class fee is $15. That's what I was thinking. Again, we will do a hard post on this. So do look out for all of that information coming very soon near you. I know Beadfest is coming up pretty quickly. I've actually been packing for it. I've got quite a few of my Silver Silk and more stuff in there. So I'll have a little pop-up shop courtesy of Jesse James Beads in their booth. If you love my brand Silver Silk and more, you guys know that I do the knitted wire. Or I'm a distributor for the Silver Silk knitted wire brand. And so I'll have some of my inventory there on hand in person with me. All right. What is happening here? This is awesome. I think, I don't know if I want to go longer or not. I think I'll be okay, roughly. No, I want to do a little bit more. I want this to be a slightly longer piece. There we go. So Karen says this one is really shaping up. I think so too, especially with how much I'm yammering. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me and letting me take you on my design journey with me. Let's see, I strung 3 onto there. I'll do 3 more on here. Maureen is joining us. She says, I never get to see these lives. Beautiful project. Hi, Maureen. I'm glad you're able to join us this time. And in case you missed a few of the announcements, I will be at Beadfest with Jesse James Beads. We actually have quite a few things planned, including our tailgate party that we do. This will be my first one with Jesse James Beads. I'm really, really looking forward to it. But I believe they set up a pop-up shop outside of the venue just before the show happens. And who knows, we might even break out some champagne or something, maybe coffee. I don't know, depends who's going, I guess, depends who the audience is. Okay, what am I doing here? I'm going to crimp this. There we are. All right, I had a clasp sitting out here somewhere, and now I think it walked off because of my moving. Oh no, I found it. Okay. Sometimes I have stuff laid out on my table and it's easy for stuff to shift around and get outside of my scope there. Alrighty, so I'm gonna actually end this design with a crimp. I'm wondering though if this wire will go back, and if it doesn't, I think I can end it there pretty safely. Looks like it's gonna be a little bit of a hard, oh, there we go. Okay, it will go through. We are. Now, I'm actually glad that it's a tighter squeeze, only because it'll be a very secure hold. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put that down. I want to leave a little bit of a loop. This is about maybe 3 millimeters of a loop for my class to kind of move around and have some freedom there. And now I'll just simply crimp in place. Just like that. And I'll go ahead and trim. Karen says I do a good job of multitasking. I think you'd be the only person that has ever said that to me. I don't know if that's true or not, but I do appreciate I appreciate the compliment. Alrighty. Again, that is a little bit of a tighter squeeze, but that will definitely go through. All right. All right. I'm so excited about this piece. Again, leaving yourself with about 3 millimeters of extra. I actually want to leave a little bit more on here because that toggle does need to go through. So you could either attach a jump ring or just make a bigger loop. In this case, I think I'm just going to make a bigger loop. See if that'll go through. Cool. Okay, that should be all right. Sweet. Alrighty. This was quite fun to do. I, again, do not practice designing enough with red, so this was quite the challenge for me, certainly. I do have a little piece sticking out there, but let me show you the magic of these flush cutters. I'm telling you, you can really get some very right. I gotta take that design off and I gotta put this new one on because I just finished this. Thanks so much for joining me. Again, this is Cherry Tomato from the seasonal collection. You can go into the featured collections menu on www.jessejamesbeats.com, and in the very last option you'll see one that says seasonal, and in there they have collected quite a few of the seasonal collections that they put out that are themed, such as Easter, Christmas, I don't know, the fresh market stuff that they had earlier, Pantones, and have comprised them all into one category for you guys to peruse through and make shopping much easier. Again, check out the greens this, actually just today, I believe, because they're discounting them 30% off for a minimum order. I think that's such a great deal. And we learned how to do some very specific crimping and some meticulous thought process of designing, but we were able to come up with a fabulous solution, of course. So guys, until the next time we do another live, I want to wish you guys a fabulous evening of fun creativity. I hope this has inspired you. Please check us out on YouTube. We have a few videos up there that we did not do live here on Facebook, and we definitely want you to be in the know of the latest techniques and designs that I've done. You can also check us out on Instagram. Please follow us. We put a ton of examples on there for you guys to check out and ooh and ah